So there's so many things I have to be thankful for in Tupperware. But I'll narrow it down so I won't keep you hostage all night. So I've been in Tupperware 18 years, and which just blows my mind. I can't believe. I remember when I first started, and people are like, "I've been in Tupperware 14 years," and I was just like, "Wow, like, am I ever gonna be there?" And here I am. But yeah, so I've been in Tupperware 18 years, and one of the things that I'm most thankful for is really the I talk about the people a lot, and I talk about all the things that Tupperware has done for me. Um, but I go live all the time, and I'm always talking about the products and demoing and doing things like that. And that is one of the things that just like continues to blow my mind is how wonderful our products are, in the sense of like, when you really truly use the systems that we have in place, our products, and you're using them every day as a system, the amount of time and money that they save us, right? It is kind of mind blowing, and it really helps just kind of alleviate some of the daily stress and pressure and things like that when it comes to what's for dinner. I mean, I never thought that that question would be so triggering to me on a daily basis. When you're having like you're just having a day, and then it's just like everybody's like, and I'm like, when, in what rule book did it say that that's my job every day, that I'm the one who has to make those decisions, right? And I was talking recently to somebody, and I was like, several years ago, I had to go through a pretty big lifestyle change, and I had to change my diet up significantly. And one of the best parts was, and because I joined like these groups of people that were kind of changing their diet and stuff like that, and people are like, oh my gosh, I have to go buy this kitchen thing to be able to do this, and I have to go buy this kitchen thing, and this, I have to change all my pots and pans, and I have to change all of this because I can't have these things. And I was like, oh, I don't have to do any of those things because I have Tupperware, right? And so I already had all these great kitchen tools. And so all I had to do was figure out the recipes and figure out how to meal prep with it and do stuff like that. I didn't have to like rehaul my entire kitchen, right? I didn't have to redo all of that. I just had to like wrap my head around what I could and couldn't eat, right? And so as much as I'm grateful and thankful for, the time freedom, I'm so thankful for the flexibility. Um, I'm
Mm.
s- I'm grateful for the income, right?
Wow.
I'm super grateful for the income and the friendships and all of that. I am so grateful for the products and the ability that they have to be able to save us so much time in the kitchen and in our life, that we don't have to stress about those type of things when we're able to put them into play. And so one of the things that I just recently realized even more so was that, like, freezer containers, right? This sounds so ridiculous, but I swear to you, I slept on freezer containers for years, and I just used them like, oh, I want to freeze something. Oh, I'll grab a freezer container. But I didn't use them systematically, right? So I didn't use them as a system. And people would talk about doing meal prep days, and I was like, I would love to do a meal prep day. I do not have that in my schedule. I do not have time to like block off like hours and hours to like cook in advance, right? I'm like cooking on the fly, trying to figure things out, right? And so, but what I realized was I can cook double and triple batches, and then I can freeze small portions and have my own freezer meals, right? And that was a game changer for me, because I was like, oh, I can meal prep when I have the right tools, right? And so then I quickly was like, okay, I need as many of those small sizes as I possibly can get, right? And then it saves me so much time because I always have a variety of freezer meals, like in the freezer for me, whole foods. They're made of all food from nature, right? There's no preservatives in them. It's my cooking. It has any like dietary restrictions that any of my family has. It has all of those. It's compliant with everybody's diets, right? And it's fantastic, right? And so, but that's what freezer meats can do for you. And they can also sit there, and they can you can like jumpstart a meal too, right? So you can have the start to a meal. So you can just have browned ground beef that's not seasoned, or cooked chicken that's not seasoned. So you can turn it into anything, right? You can turn ground beef into sloppy joes, into taco, into the beginning of a meat sauce. You can turn into so many things. Or your chicken, you can turn into chicken salad and chicken casserole, and anything like chicken soup. You can turn into chicken tacos, right? And just add your own seasoning, but you have your 20 minutes into the meal by having that stuff prepped and ready. And I'm like, why did I wait so long to start using that as a system, right? And so it sounds silly because I know we're talking and everybody's like talking about from the heart and the relationships in the business and all of that. But the products, like, and I don't talk about products in my story very much because I didn't come for the products. I came for the money. I totally came for the money, right? But the products, I'm so grateful for that because it really does really free up a lot of time. And so I'm always like telling people when I really kind of get on a roll, I'm just like, guys, you have no idea how much this can actually help you when you just invest a little up front and start working the system and working these products into your daily routines and into your system. And I was listening to a training recently, and they said you don't need to be motivated every day. You just need to have systems in place. Because when you have systems in place, you don't need motivation because your systems just carry you through. Right. And I was just like, dang, I never thought about that. Right. Because if you have fail safe systems in place, like you think about it, what's your morning routine? You get out of bed, maybe you take a medication right away, you brush your teeth. That's a routine, guys. That's a system, right? And if you don't do that, your teeth might fall out. No, I'm just kidding. Like, what did they say? Brush the teeth you want to keep, right? That's what parents always say to their kids, right? So, but I mean, but you see what I'm saying? Like, that's a system. That's a very basic system, but that's a system. You don't need motivation to do that. You just get it. It's a habit. You get out of bed and you do it. But you can create those systems around your everyday stuff and you can create it around our products and it'll help you so much in your life. And when you can teach people how to do that same thing with the systems, you will become invaluable to them and they'll be so grateful for you introducing them to those systems. They don't need motivation to eat right and to save money and to meal prep when they have the right systems in place, right? Because those systems will carry them through. So I know that that's a little bit different than, the normal thankful story. But I'm so grateful for these products and I'm so grateful, of course, for Pam because, without her and her, like, just her everything, right? Because she's the only reason, quite honestly, that I'm even here. Because I don't think there's maybe one other person that maybe could have recruited me into the business because I think about this a lot when I meet people, and it's no offense to any other leaders or anything like that, but I meet people and I think, could they have recruited me into the business? And I'm like, maybe. And so, but Pam, there was something just so magnetic about her. And it wasn't about Tupperware. It was about business, but it had nothing to do with Tupperware. It had everything to do with the positivity that she exudes, right? And that is what I needed so much in my life when I met her. And that is the reason why I say I'm not sure if somebody else would have been able to recruit me because I don't know if I've ever really met someone with that thing that she has that is that positivity that she has that is just so heartfelt and so authentic. And it just really spoke to me in that perfect way, and so it was that perfect combination. And so that's what I mean by that. It's not an insult to anybody else. It is just she hit me at just the right time and hit me right in the heart with that wonderful positivity that I needed so desperately at that point in my life. So that I'm super duper grateful for. All right. So I get the pleasure of introducing the wonderful Ms. Jenny Cheatham. And so one of the things that I absolutely adore about Jenny is that she came into Tupperware and she just she has such a special place to so many different people in Tupperware. And I think one of the reasons is because she's very real and down to earth in all the most wonderful ways. She has a way of like, I'll be like, and I'm up in the clouds, and she'll just be like, well, why don't you just do this? And I'm just like, or we could do that. Like, she just There's so many wonderful talk about a system, right? This woman, she raised 5 girls, right? And so there are times when I'm talking to her about things with my kids, and she's able to just kind of simplify those things for me too. And I remember one time specifically, and then I'm gonna send it over to Jenny, but one time specifically that I was really upset, and I was just like, I was upset. Eric was unemployed at the time, and so I didn't realize how controlling I was until my husband lost his job and started trying to do my things around the house. Right? And I was just like, "Oh, you're going to, oh, I wouldn't really, oh, well, that's not exactly how I would. Okay, yeah, do that. Okay." Right? And so yeah, so I was running errands and doing all the things because I was the only one working at the time. And so I was doing it was work errands, and so I'm coming back and I was on the phone with her and I started crying and she's like, "What is wrong?" And I was like, "I miss James. I just want to be with James. And Eric doesn't play with him the same way I play with him. And I just really want to sit with him on the floor and I want to play with him." And she was just like, "Okay, so go play with your kid." And I was like, "I have so many things to do." And, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, "Ellen, just drive home, go in the house and sit on the floor and play with your kid. It's fine. Everything else will wait." And I was just like, "Okay." But that is her ability. That's one of her superpowers, is just to kind of like take it down and just like be able to tell you how it is, and in all the best ways, in all the best ways. So